Well, good evening, everybody. It is the 28th day of December, 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below, the last one for this year. Let's go ahead and get started. I hope everybody's holiday went well. We still haven't had any snow, other than one day, and then it went away. Weird. We're going to start with Uruz. Uruz is the second rune of the Elder Futhark. The key word for it is Oryx, which is an extinct type of bison, I guess you could say. You can kind of see the shape of it. The back kind of goes down like that you see on a bison or a buffalo. It's essentially the energy shaping matter. It's considered the primal forming force, essentially, or essence. It's about health and endurance as well. But usually when I pull Urus, I'm thinking about how we shape our experiences here in physical reality. So let's just think of it that way, and we'll see what the Geomancy runes have to say here. The elementals. Got 4 of them. I'm going to put them in the order of fire, air, water, and earth. There's fire. There's earth. And there's water. So here we have Acquisitio. Acquisitio and Emissio are each other's complements, whereas Emissio would be loss. Acquisitio would be gain or increase. And then Emissio could be decrease. So it could be an energy type of a thing. But what we're going to manifest here in terms of Acquisitio and Urus, you want to be careful with Acquisitio, because you could, as you're pursuing something, you could end up becoming overconfident or acting in an excessive way or something, or maybe a lack of impulse control. That might be another way to say it. But this is Acquisitio, whereas Emissio would look like that. This is Acquisitio. So when you're manifesting, if you manifest from higher consciousness, then the ego doesn't have a place in there. It doesn't have a way to compromise that situation by maybe acting excessively or overconfidently in what you're doing. And so it really, I think, has to do with maybe having a more measured approach to whatever it is you're going to do this next week, whatever you're going to create or manifest, if you will. But let's see what the cards have to say here. I mean, it can mean success as well, being goal-directed, which is all fine and good, but as long as you kind of keep you don't go out on a limb, essentially, when there's nothing warranting doing so. So just a little bit of caution there, and maybe a little more measured approach. I've already done some shuffling, so that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to cut the deck and take the lower half and take 3 cards. Well, we have 2 cards from the Major Arcana, Death and the Sun, which is kind of interesting. And so we have a prominent soul level influence. Most tarot readers view, well, I shouldn't say most, because I have no idea. I don't know most of them. But some, I'm one of them, views the Major Arcana as soul archetype cards. And so when there is a presence of either one or all, however many, but multiple in particular, then the reading really is emphasizing higher consciousness and allowing that to guide you, if you will. And same sort of thing here with Urus, and allowing that primal forming essence. I mean, just having that as even if you just thought of it that way, you're looking at higher consciousness doing that. So it's a higher consciousness experience. But let's do the numerology real quick here. Where is my calculator? There it is. So we have 2 for Urus, because being the second rune of the Elder Futhark. And then we have the Nine of Swords. I forgot to say that. Nine of Swords. It's the only, now we're up to 11 here in terms of the numerology, but I don't think that doesn't really matter at this point. We have 13 for the Death card, and then we have 19 for the Sun. That gives us 43. That reduces to 7. Let's do it one more time. Well, let me clear it better there. Otherwise, I think we're going to get this huge number. So we have 2 plus 9 plus 13 plus 19. Yep, 43. So again, that's going to be 7. Let me put that down here. 7 for the overall numerology. So there again, with 7, you're looking at observation, you're looking at balance. It can be legal issues. It can be any number of things, really. Magic, spirituality. But usually when I see a 7, I think allowing things to settle out. I look at the 7 as depicted by the scales, where you've got 3 and 3 plus 1 up there, allowing the scale to settle to see what you really have. So that's going to be a certain type of observation, where you're not just going to see something and then make a snap judgment. And again, on the idea of, on the negative side of acquisitio, you could overreact, you could become impulsive. And I think that what it's saying with the 7 numerology for the whole reading, you don't want to do that. You want to be able, whatever it is you're going to do, whatever you're going to create, whatever you're going to manifest, it's like it's forming the basis for all of that, and approaching it, like I say, in a measured type of a way. We'll start with the 9 of Swords. Swords reflects the air element, and so our intellect. Here we have a guy who's awakened from a nightmare. But you can see the order on the quilt. You see the squares. You see the swords that are all lined up together. There's a heaviness to it, but with 9, you're also talking about endings and completion. Also spirituality and generosity. But the nightmare's done. And if you look then at the 10 of Swords, you'll see a guy on the ground. His head, he's got 10 swords piercing his back, and he's got his head turned toward the light that's starting to return. And then so the night is lifting, and he's turning his face to the light, essentially, establishing the fear, establishing the all the stuff that's been weighing on you. And then in the 10 of Swords, you let it go, and you are ready to begin anew with a new day, essentially. 10, as I've said before, you're looking at the Roman numeral 10C, the X in the middle, and if you terminate the ends, you have Dagaz, which is the 23rd rune of the Elder Futhark, and so you're talking about the end of one phase and the beginning of another. So inherent in 10 is both endings and beginnings, because 10 reduces to 1, and so that's 1 is about new beginnings. But here, you're putting everything in a row here, and you're acknowledging what it is, and that's holding you back from perhaps creating something new or manifesting something new, and you need to create a new mindset to make that happen, essentially. With Death, you've got, as the 13th card of the Major Arcana, you see Death riding through. You see the ferryman's boat over here. You see the priest giving last rites. You see the queen and the child bereft on the ground. You see that are sitting, kneeling down there before Death. You also see the king on the ground there, dead. Death is about transition. And you see over here, you see the 2 towers, which again is balance. Anytime you see 2 of something, whether it's 2 trees, 2 towers, 2 rock faces, anything that's 2, and oftentimes you'll see a path going through them, you're basically finding the middle way. You're creating a new balance for yourself. And so if you've had a lot of fear that's maybe holding you back from pursuing something new, a new opportunity or a new endeavor, or manifesting something, or getting ready to form something new in your life, you've got to let go of whatever it is and acknowledge it, of what has been holding you back, that's fear-based or ego-based. And again, with Death, you're allowing that transition to take place. Okay? And then we come to the Sun. where we see the sun extending all of its rays. The sun often refers to the Creator, but it can also be, as with here, the sun rising on a new day. You see that right there. There's the sun on your new experiences. And here, it's essentially manifesting the success. 19, 1 and 9 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1. So again, a new day that's filled with success. You see the red pennant there, the flag that's flowing in the breeze. You see the white horse there, which depicts newness. So does the nude figure on the horse, also depicts newness. But you're talking about happiness and fulfillment and success. So if you're able then to put your fears in some kind, I mean, think of it as putting them in a container of sorts, where you got it all right there. You understand what the fear is, and you're ready to deal with that in a way that is not going to impact this new endeavor, maybe, or new opportunity, or new manifestation that you may want to make this next week. So again, it's a transition point, that sort of the death of one type of experience and the birth of a new one that is not based in fear, that's based in the idea of being positive and being on the brink, like the fool, taking that leap of faith into form, into physical reality, where you can then manifest something new in your life that's positive and making you happy, and a feeling of fulfillment and a feeling of success. So, I mean, which just giving up the fear alone can qualify for those things, right? But I think that there may be, and so whether it's more esoteric or whether it's actually something tangible, like a new opportunity, a new business, a new job, a relocating to a new place, and any number of things. Maybe a new, you're going to have a baby, and the baby's going to be born. You're preparing for that. It could be anything at all that's new, for you going back to school, for example. I mean, it could be anything at all. Whatever it is that you've had a passion that you've just been too afraid to even try to pursue. Well, maybe this is the time to do that, as we getting to the end of this year of 2025, which has been just fraught with difficulties, obviously. Maybe next year for you, you've got some new things that are coming your way, and you let go of the fear. You put everything in order so that you understand what this is. That's a very swords or air element type of an experience. Let go and let the transition take place, so that you can then build your happiness, fulfillment, and success. Make sense? I think that's it. Listen, if you go to my blog at Stepping Aside and you go to the tab that says Posts and Other Insights, the first or second one is going to explain, because I didn't bring my tea in here, what's been happening. And so I'm not going to say it because I don't want to do that. But bottom line, I've restructured the blog a little bit. And so there's not going to be a write-up anymore, for reasons that if you read one of those two posts, you'll see. And I'm doing the forecasts and everything else the week ahead on a different page, but when you open up the blog, there it is. Anyway, I've just restructured some things, but there's not going to be any room for that, for any write-up for this. I might do it over on Substack. I might do that. I'm thinking about doing it there. So and there'll be a link, there on the blog. If you scroll down on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see Substack. You can click on it. It goes right to Witch Notes. Or you can just do a search for Witch Notes or Jan Erickson over there on Substack, and you'll see it. You'll get to that page. So I might put it there. But otherwise, it's not, you don't have to figure anything out when you go to the blog at all, but I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do it differently. And so anyway, the video though will appear on that right side panel each time. So I do put that there, so you'll have it. But if you watch the video, you don't really need the reading notes anyway. So anyway, I was just doing it just in case somebody wanted to follow along, but we don't really need to do that. But in any event, so, I said before that there was going to be some changes on the blog, some changes in how I do stuff, and that's true. So just look for that, and I'll kind of give you an alert if it's something I need to like send you to or something like that. Otherwise, just the menu stuff is going to change. I'm just going to do things a little bit differently, and we'll see how that goes. But in any event, I wanted to wish you all a happy new year, and thank you so much for being here and listening to these videos. I hope that these readings have been helpful. And I look forward to doing more of them on Sundays, unless I decide to do more. But I'll do at least on Sundays in the coming year, and we'll see you in 2026. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another, and blessed be.